A 17-year-old steps onto a track and believes, even for a moment, that he can outrun Usain Bolt. It sounds impossible, almost arrogant. The fastest human ever recorded against someone who hasn't even finished growing. But the real question isn't whether it will happen. The real question is why it almost certainly won't, and under what exact conditions it could. Because speed is not a single trait, it is a system. And most people misunderstand that system completely. The idea of the fastest human feels simple on the surface. A race, a straight line, a finish. But beneath that simplicity lies one of the most complex performances the human body can produce. Running at top speed is not just about strong legs or explosive starts. It is a precise orchestration of muscle fibers, neural signals, biomechanics, energy systems, and decision-making processes that occur faster than conscious thought. A 100-meter sprint lasts less than 10 seconds. But inside those seconds, thousands of microscopic events determine the outcome. Every step is calculated by the brain. Every contraction is timed. Every inefficiency is punished instantly. To understand whether a 17-year-old could beat the fastest man alive,
start with muscle. Not all muscle is created equal. Inside the body are different types of muscle fibers, each with a distinct purpose. Some are built for endurance, capable of working for long periods without fatigue. Others are built for explosive power, capable of generating immense force in a fraction of a second. These are often described as slow-twitch and fast-twitch fibers. Slow-twitch fibers are efficient, resistant to fatigue, and suited for long-distance efforts, but they are not fast. Fast-twitch fibers, on the other hand, are designed for speed and power. They contract rapidly, generate high force, but they fatigue quickly. Elite sprinters possess a higher proportion of fast-twitch fibers. This is not something that can be completely built through training. Genetics plays a significant role. Some individuals are simply born with a biological advantage. Research suggests that while training can enhance the performance of these fibers, the underlying distribution is largely predetermined. This is one of the first barriers a 17-year-old faces. Without the right muscle composition, reaching elite sprinting speeds becomes extremely difficult. But muscle alone is not enough. The brain must know how to use it. This is where neuromuscular efficiency enters the picture. It describes how effectively the nervous system can activate muscle fibers. Two individuals may have similar muscle mass, but the one with better neural coordination can produce more force, more quickly, and with better timing. When a sprinter explodes out of the starting blocks.
And then there is biomechanics. Speed is not just about force, it is about how that force is applied. The angle of the body during acceleration, the position of the foot at ground contact, the stiffness of the ankle, the swing of the arms, the alignment of the hips, each detail influences performance. Small inefficiencies compound over time. A slightly longer ground contact time can reduce speed. A minor imbalance in stride length can disrupt rhythm. Poor posture can waste energy. Elite sprinters operate near the limits of mechanical efficiency. Their movements are refined to minimize wasted motion and maximize forward propulsion. This is not accidental. It is the result of years of technical training, feedback, and adjustment. For a teenager to match this level of biomechanical precision would require not just talent, but an environment that supports high-level coaching, analysis, and consistent practice. Even then, another system determines the outcome: energy.
The body does not produce movement without fuel. In a sprint, the primary energy system is the phosphagen system, which provides immediate energy for short, explosive efforts. It relies on stored compounds within the muscles, allowing for rapid ATP production without oxygen. This system is powerful but limited. It can sustain maximum effort for only a few seconds. As the race progresses, the body begins to rely more on anaerobic glycolysis, which produces energy without oxygen but generates byproducts that contribute to fatigue. Elite sprinters train their bodies to optimize these systems. They improve their ability to generate energy quickly, delay fatigue, and maintain power output throughout the race. A 17-year-old may have strong energy systems, but they are rarely as refined or as resilient as those of a world-class athlete. And yet, the story does not end here, because there are scenarios where the impossible begins to shift. Consider distance. The title fastest human usually refers to the 100-meter sprint, but change the distance and the outcome changes. Over longer distances, endurance becomes more important. Over shorter distances, reaction time and initial acceleration may play a larger role. A 10-meter sprint, for example, emphasizes explosive power and reaction speed. While an elite sprinter still holds the advantage, the gap narrows slightly. Introduce external factors and the equation shifts further. Fatigue, injury, terrain, environmental conditions. Each variable affects performance. A fully rested, peak condition athlete performs very differently from one who is fatigued or injured. A teenager, fresh and motivated, might outperform a fatigued elite athlete under certain conditions, not because they are inherently faster, but because the system has been disrupted. This reveals a deeper truth. Speed is not just about the body, it is about the entire system functioning at its peak, and this applies far beyond sprinting. The same principles govern how individuals present themselves, how they move through the world, and how they develop confidence. Posture, for example, is often overlooked, but it plays a significant role in both performance and appearance. Improving posture is not just about standing straighter. It involves strengthening specific muscle groups, increasing mobility, and retraining movement patterns. Over time, these changes can alter how a person looks and feels. Energy levels follow a similar pattern. Many people experience low energy not because of a single issue, but because of multiple small inefficiencies. Poor sleep, inadequate nutrition, lack of movement, and chronic stress all contribute. Each factor may seem minor, but together they create a system that operates below its potential. Studies indicate that sleep quality significantly impacts physical performance, cognitive function, and recovery. Nutrition influences energy availability, muscle function, and overall health. Movement enhances circulation, improves mood, and supports metabolic processes. Optimizing these elements does not produce instant transformation, but over time, the effects compound. The same is true for appearance. Skin health, body composition, and overall presentation are influenced by daily habits. Hydration, diet, sleep, and stress management all play a role. While genetics set the baseline, behavior shapes the outcome. Common mistakes often go unnoticed. Inconsistent routines, excessive screen time, poor dietary choices, and lack of physical activity can gradually degrade both performance and appearance. The changes are subtle at first, easy to ignore, but over months and years, they become significant. The opposite is also true. Small, consistent improvements can lead to noticeable transformation. Better sleep leads to improved recovery. Improved recovery enhances training quality. Better training leads to stronger, more efficient movement. Confidence begins to shift, not because of external validation, but because the system is functioning more effectively. Returning to the original question, the idea of a 17-year-old beating the fastest man alive becomes less about a single race and more about understanding the layers of performance. In a direct, controlled 100-meter sprint, the outcome is clear. The combination of genetics, training, experience, and system optimization gives the elite athlete an overwhelming advantage. But the question itself reveals something more important. It exposes the complexity of human potential. It shows that performance is not determined by one factor, but by the interaction of many. It highlights the importance of long-term development. It also challenges the assumption that improvement is limited. While not everyone can become the fastest human, everyone can improve their own system. In the end, the idea of beating the fastest human is less about competition and more about understanding what makes peak performance possible. So the answer to the question is both simple and complex. A 17-year-old cannot realistically beat the fastest man alive under standard conditions. But the exploration of that possibility reveals the path to something more valuable. And in that realization, the focus shifts from beating someone else to becoming something better. Not instantly, not effortlessly, but gradually and with intention.